Dear students, good morning to all. Hope you are fine. Today's our offline class is about human respiratory system. Human respiratory system consists of respiratory passage and respiratory organs. Respiratory organs are a pair of lungs. Now first let us study about respiratory passage. Respiratory passage, it is a passage that takes air from outside to the respiratory surface of lungs. Respiratory passage consists of a pair of nostrils, nasal cavity, a pair of internal nares, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi and their branches, and the respiratory surface of lungs, that is alveoli. Now structures involved in respiratory passage. First is external nostrils. A pair of external nostrils represent the first part of respiratory passage. These are holes of our nose opening out above the upper lips. These lead into nasal chamber of nasal cavity through the nasal passage. Now second structure, that is the nasal chambers. These are also two in number. The epithelial lining of cavities is known as respiratory epithelium. It has pseudostratified, ciliated columnar, non-ciliated, brushwater columnar, cuboidal and goblet cells. The epithelium also possesses glands. It is richly supplied with blood vessels. Mucus is produced by goblet cells. Now the functions of mucus. Mucus from goblet cells and glands makes the surface sticky for trapping dust particles present in the inspired air. Moisture from the epithelium also makes the air humid. It brings the temperature of the incoming air up to the body temperature. Now third part, internal nares. These are the posterior openings of the nasal cavities that lead into the nasopharynx. Now nasopharynx. Internal nares open into a part of pharynx known as nasopharynx. It is a portion of pharynx. Only air passes through nasopharynx. It opens into the trachea through glottis of larynx region. Glottis is the opening at the upper part of the larynx. Now the larynx. It is also known as sound or voice box because it helps in the production of sound. It is made up of cartilage present at the upper part of trachea. Its upper part has an opening that is glottis. During swallowing, this glottis can be covered by epiglottis, which is a leaf-shaped cartilaginous structure made up of elastic cartilage. Epiglottis is the covering or lid of glottis to prevent the entry of food into the larynx during swallowing. Cartilage of larynx. There are 9 pieces of cartilages, 3 are single and 3 are paired. Now first cartilage, that is thyroid cartilage. It is the largest cartilage and the most prominent, C-shaped, incomplete dorsally, called as Adam's apple, as it is apple-shaped and more prominent in males. Now, second cartilage, that is cricoid cartilage. It lies below the thyroid cartilage and its shape is like a signet ring. Now, third type of cartilage, arytenoid cartilages. These are two roughly pyramid-shaped cartilages forming posterior wall of the larynx. Now, fourth one is corniculate cartilages. These are two conical nodules of elastic fibrocartilage which lie at the apices of arytenoid cartilages. Now, fifth cartilage is cuneiform cartilages. These are two small, elongated, club-shaped nodules of elastic fibrocartilage which lie above and anterior to corniculate cartilages. These connect epiglottis to arytenoid cartilage. Now, sixth, epiglottis. It is a single leaf-shaped cartilage which projects into the larynx. The thyroid membrane is a broad flat membrane attached to the hyoid bone above and to the thyroid cartilage below. Inside the larynx are present two pairs of vocal cords, of which one pair is of false vocal cords which have little to do with sound production, and the second, that is inner pair, is of true vocal cords. When air is forced through the larynx, it causes vibration of the true vocal cords and sound is produced. The pitch of sound is determined by the tension on the vocal cords. Greater the tension, higher the pitch. Now the trachea. It is also known as windpipe. It is a straight tube extending up to the mid-thoracic cavity commonly called chest cavity. This tube finally divides into right and left primary bronchi at the level of fifth thoracic vertebra. It is lined by incomplete cartilaginous rings to prevent it from collapsing during inspiration. Now, bronchi. Bronchus is it a singular. Each bronchus undergoes repeated divisions to form its branches. These are secondary, tertiary, bronchi and bronchioles. Bronchioles are the terminal branching of bronchi. Finally, bronchioles give rise to a number of very thin, well supplied with blood vessels irregular walled balloon-like structures called alveoli. The walls of the bronchi and initial bronchioles are supported by incomplete cartilaginous rings. Now the alveoli. Bronchioles open into the alveolar ducts, that is, a tube-like structure which lead into an expanded passages, the atria, which open into the alveolar sacs or air sacs. There are about 300 millions of alveoli in two lungs. The membrane of alveoli is very thin, irregular, and richly supplied with blood vessels. Due to very close contact of blood vessels with alveoli, the exchange of gases takes place easily. Surfactant, a surface active agent, lecithin, secreted by type 2 alveolar epithelial cells, reduces surface tension between the alveolar fluid and air. It prevents collapsing of lung alveoli. Bronchioles lead to alveolar ducts. Alveolar ducts lead to atria. Atria lead to alveolar sacs. Now the lungs, it will be in our next offline class. Thanks.